guys, it's CeCe. Thank you guys for watching my channel and welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to click and watch my video. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, I see you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That would be awesome. So that way you can just keep up to date on the latest videos that I'm posting. So today I wanted to bring to you guys on what I like to eat and what's my favorite like go-to meal, which is tofu scramble. Love tofu scramble. There's millions of different ways that you can do a tofu scramble, and with me being vegan, obviously it takes replace of scrambled eggs. So I'm going to show you guys what I like to put in it and what you can put in it. So let's get to it. So I normally put in it lots of vegetables. So today we're just going to be doing like tomatoes, peppers, and mushrooms. What I'm cutting. So normally, guys, I eat this like probably like every day. I love tofu scramble. It's probably like one of my favorite meals that I just cook all the time, and it's so easy. Like you get your protein, you get your fiber, depending on whatever you put in it. I feel like it's just such a basic, easy meal to make. And I feel like most of the time you always have leftovers. You always have leftovers. So, like I said, I'm cutting up some tomatoes. And honestly, guys, they don't have to be perfect. Like, that's the beauty of cooking, because who wants everything to be perfect? I used to be that type of person that wanted everything to be perfect, and obviously I'm not like that anymore. But you know, you learn. So all my vegetables are washed, just to let you guys know. I tend to, when I do tomatoes, guys, I normally go for like the firmest ones because I like a crunch to my stuff, which is basically with all my vegetables. I like a crunch to everything. So yeah, so I'm cutting these up into like big chunks because I like chunky stuff. And yeah, we're done with the tomatoes. So I'm just going to take this bowl, put all my tomatoes in there, and as you see, I have a lot, so I don't even know honestly, guys, if I would use all of these. I probably could have just got away with doing one. So with me, I like to make sure I'm cooking the rainbow, and that saying is just making sure your food is colorful and not this like boring one color thing. So normally when I cook with peppers, I always try to get yellow, red, and orange. Every now and then I will get green peppers, but that's only if I notice that I'm going to cook it with something, because normally I get a lot of green vegetables. Like I get kale, I get broccoli, so honestly most of the time I don't get green peppers like that unless I know that I'm going to be cooking it for something with something. And I have a sticker on there. So most of the times I don't get peppers, green peppers like that. So I'm just dicing it up, and I will show you guys what that looks like. But yeah, I will say just a good reminder, you know, just try to cook the rainbow. So try to make sure that your vegetables, that you try to have at least, I would say at least 3 colors. You know, like I said, I generally try to cook the rainbow and try to cook all colors, but obviously I can't. I try to at least have like 3 different colors in my food, because I don't know, it just makes it so colorful and nice. And yeah, we used to cook with red onions a lot, but because of they had like a recall with them recently, so, or like not a recall, because this is not like a thing. Maybe it is called a recall. I don't know. I'm just talking, guys. So, yeah. But they had like an outbreak of like salmonella or something like that with the peppers, so we stopped using them for a while, and we just haven't gone back to them. So normally I do cook with red pepper, and so that's like, you know, purple. So I'll have like the red peppers, tomatoes, onions, or not red peppers, well, red peppers, or yellow peppers, tomatoes, and like the red onion, which is purple. And then, you know, I'll have like my green vegetables, which is like the kale or broccoli or things like that, or spinach. So I'm going to show you this beauty, which is a staple in our house. So this, guys, is an oyster mushroom. Now, these are my favorite. I love these oyster mushrooms. They're like this very, very like meaty texture, which is really good. I've made fried chicken with these. I've made just cutting them up and putting them in like a pasta, or making it in like a fried rice type of thing. So these are awesome if you can find these. I noticed like maybe a lot of stores don't carry these, but then at least people are telling me a lot of stores don't carry these. But I've noticed, at least here where I'm living on the West Coast, that most stores do carry these. So these are really good, really, really good. I love them. So they're really awesome. So these are a big staple in our house. So I normally just dice them up. You don't really have to cut it anyway. And normally that's enough for me, but I may just add one more because I like mushrooms. I'm just a big mushroom fiend. So I think that might be enough. So there's the mushrooms. So I'm actually going to turn on my stove because you can't start cooking without the stove being turned on. And another must-have for when you're doing tofu scramble, you don't have to, but I find that it kind of completes the meal. So kind of like an accessory. It's like an accessory to your meal, which is nutritional yeast. So this is good for, it has a lot of B12 in it, and just like all sorts of vitamins, and it's just good, all sorts of like vitamins and things like that. But it's mostly known for having a good amount of B12, which is really essentials to vegans, because normally we are B12 deficient, which in all honesty, it can be for anyone that is vegan or non-vegan, but this has a really good amount of B12 in it, which is what you need for your daily intake. So this is so good. I sprinkle this on everything, like literally like that hot sauce commercial, like you put that in everything. I put this in everything. Like I'll put it on my popcorn, I'll saute up some vegetables. So FYI, try this out, guys. Saute up, if you like Brussels sprouts, saute up some Brussels sprouts, put some garlic and maybe some salt, a little bit of salt, and sprinkle this on it. It is so good. I got my family hooked onto this. So nutritional yeast. So, and then we have our tofu organic. And I know what a lot of people say about tofu, that it's not that great because it has like high, I think like estrogen or something like that. Personally, I like it. I want to try different other tofu because it is soy, obviously, and people say soy isn't good for you, but I feel like this is the only soy thing that I eat, honestly, in my house. And like I said, I do eat tofu a lot, but I eat it like once a week. And that's probably literally the only soy thing that I have in my house. Everything else is like soy free. So for me, I don't feel like it's that bad, me personally. So, but I do want to try different other types of tofu, because I know there's like a tofu made out of pumpkin seeds and, sorry guys, tofu made out of pumpkin seeds, so I do want to try it. Okay, and I also need to get an onion, because you can't have tofu without the onions, and scramble without the onions. So I'm going to cut up that. And guys, I don't measure anything. So this will not be like 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 1/4 of a cup. Like, I don't measure anything unless I'm like following a recipe. And even then, I still go outside the box with recipes because sometimes it's not enough season for me or things like that. So I'm just cutting up my onion. I don't use a whole onion. I don't even think I use a half an onion, to be honest with you. I think I use like a half. So I use about a half, and I save these for scraps, which I haven't been very good about that lately. So, but I throw my scraps in there because then I make veggie broth, and I can definitely show you guys a video of that. So this, I just dice up. Again, nothing fancy. I do like for my onions to be a little bit smaller, but again, not the end of the world if they're all big. So I will do generally grapeseed oil, if you can see it. Sorry, my camera's acting weird. Grapeseed oil. I do grapeseed oil. It's supposed to be healthier and supposed to be very high heat. So I do like a little bit. That might be 1 tablespoon. So yeah. And then I cook my onions first. I'm going to get them nice and brown. So yeah, so I cook with that. A little bit, and then I'll put the light on because I like a little bit of light. So I cook with them to let them get a little bit, I don't know, brown. Then I'll add my mushrooms because I want those to cook together. And remember, these are oyster mushrooms, which again, really, really good. So that's what it's looking like. So remember, we have our peppers and our tomatoes. This is the oyster mushrooms and the onions cooking right now. Then we have our tofu. I use a whole block of tofu. I'll put some garlic in there next, some turmeric to give it that yellow color. And also turmeric is very healthy for you as well. Then we do nutritional yeast, and then I'll add like salt and pepper to taste if I feel like it needs a little bit of seasoning with that. So that's what we have so far. So I'm just letting that cook. So yeah, so I'm going to add the peppers and the tomatoes like last. I'm going to add the tofu next. Once it starts to cook a little bit more and it's really like getting there. So then I'll add a little bit of garlic, which not really a little bit, it's like a sprinkle. And I'll just let that cook because we'll be adding more later because who doesn't love garlic? Like, I love garlic. So next is the tofu. So this is a whole block of tofu. Literally the easiest thing ever. It's just crumbling it. It's just breaking it apart and crumbling it. It's like that easy. And I normally let this cook. So normally I press my tofu out, but sometimes if I don't remember or too lazy, which let's be honest, can happen, I will just cook it just a little bit longer so the water kind of like draws out of it. But normally I do press it. And you don't have to. I feel like sometimes if you're just doing a tofu scramble, you don't have to, but you can if you want to. It is kind of nice to do that. So So yeah, I'm just crumbling it, breaking it up, breaking it apart. And depending how you want it to look, you can leave big chunks in there or you can make them smaller. I try to make them small as possible. Okay. Let me show you guys what that's looking like. What that is looking like. So this is just the tofu scramble that I crumbled. And so just gonna start stirring it in there. And it doesn't look like eggs yet, so I know it doesn't look like eggs yet, but it will be. It will look like eggs, I promise you. So that is that. And let that just cook a little bit just to draw out the extra water that was in the tofu in itself. So yeah. So next we're going to add a little bit more garlic because, again, CeCe loves garlic. And I just sprinkle it all over, like, so it's covering everything. So again, I don't measure anything, so sorry. So then I'm going to add the turmeric, and the turmeric is what gives it that yellow color, that eggy-like color. I will say don't add too much because it will also give it that turmeric taste, but you know, I like turmeric, so it doesn't really bother me that much. Oh, this is what it's looking like, and I may need to add a little bit more because I have a lot of tofu in here. But I feel like if you add a little bit, then you'll know how much you need to add, or if it's like, but if you add a lot, and if it's too much, you can't really take away from that. So if you just do a little bit at a time, it's much easier than doing like adding so much. But you see how it's turning yellow, guys, and it's giving it that eggy color. Which again, I don't really need to always add turmeric to eat it to realize that it's tofu scramble, but I like having the color contrast, especially when I'm cooking with other colors. So, but you see how it's looking yellow, like it looks like eggs. I was going to add all the tomatoes and peppers. Well, I lied, I did. So again, I'm just stirring it in there. So I probably should have did orange peppers, or probably orange peppers, just because I had the red and then I had yellow, but the tofu was yellow, so not too much cooking with the rainbow going on. But again, I tried. I did good. Like, so this is the accessory to the outfit, which is the meal. Again, I don't measure anything, but I just sprinkle until it's covering everything. And I feel like you can't really go wrong if you add too much nutritional yeast. But again, I just do a little at a time, so when I taste it, and if I feel like it needs more of something, then I'll add more of it. But I generally try not to add too much of it, because if you add too much, you can't really take away from it. So, and then you can't forget our greens, so I'm going to add spinach into it. And normally, guys, I do avocados in it as well, but I don't have any avocados that are ripe right now. So yeah, so I just add a little bit of spinach, and this is already washed, which is good. And so So yeah, so you get the protein without the cholesterol, without the, I don't know, without the harshness, I guess, of the actual egg. And I love eggs. So before I became a vegan, eggs was the hardest thing for me to give. That was the last thing for me to give up because I love eggs. Like, I love boiled eggs. I love scrambled eggs. I love sunny side up. Like, I love any way that you cook an egg. But when I started, obviously, to put the logic together of what an egg is and with everything, I decided to give it up because I was like, oh, it's not for me. So yeah, so I decided to give it up. I could probably put a little bit more spinach in this, but I love spinach. Okay, so that's good. Okay. So yeah, so eggs was like really the hardest thing for me to give up. I really thought it was going to be cheese, but it wasn't because I found good alternatives that really worked for me. So really wasn't that hard for me to give up, but this is what we're working with, guys, and looks good, smells good. This is what we're working with. Look at that. It looks amazing. I'm just going to add some more nutritional yeast because, again, you can always add more. It's not a big deal because I like a lot of nutritional yeast. So, and I'm going to add just a little bit more salt. And do I want to go for the garlic? I'll leave the garlic on because I did add a lot. So yeah, so this is the tofu scramble, and I'm making a mess. Okay guys, so taste test. So we finished up the tofu scramble and we're going to taste it. So this is what it's looking like in the bowl. Like, it looks like eggs. Like, if you guys didn't know that this was tofu scramble, you guys would not have been able to tell. At least I don't think so. But we're going to taste. So good. So good. Probably like, it's one of my favorite meals. So again, super easy, super quick. Literally, you can add whatever vegetables you have in your refrigerator. You can do sweet potato, you can do broccoli, you can do spinach, you can do kale, you can do carrots, any vegetable you want. And that's the greatness of it, because if you are picky with your vegetables, you literally can add whatever vegetables you like. So yeah, so this is the tofu scramble. Thank you guys for watching, because I'm going to like kill this right now and eat it, and I'm starving. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, guys, to hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and hit a thumbs up for liking this video. Also, comment below if you guys plan on trying this, or if you plan on using like different vegetables. Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys later. So as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the journey, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye.